Good day to everyone. Welcome back again to the Sideline Conversations. The Mundial World Cup 2026, the fever is building. Less than 37 days away until we kick off at the Estadio Azteca in the heart of La Ciudad de Mexico, where my good friend JC Partida and the friends at EC Rubio are headquartered for our World Cup. And up in the north, in the 6th, it's warming up. The snow-capped mountains are now turning into spring waters, rivers coming down to the shorelines there in Canada. My good friend Aarij Wasti from our friends at Gowling WLG in Toronto. I want to welcome back to the sideline. Gentlemen, the time is building. I would just say, listen, the World Cup is coming up in less than 30 days. And on our last episode, we had a chance to speak with some of the representatives from football federations, some of them debuting for the very first time. Our friends from Uzbekistan who joined us, Cabo Verde joined us, and Jordan joined us. We had a great time speaking with them as they prepare for this historic tri-nation hosting of the World Cup Mundial in the United States, Canada, and Toronto. And we are continuing our series speaking with some of our good friends around the world. This episode, we are going to be speaking with our friends from Europe, Africa, the Middle East. We're going to kind of touch all places. But first and foremost, I want to welcome our good friend and General Secretary for the Football Federation of Bosnia and Herzegovina. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Džemidžić. How is it going? Where are you in the world right now?
Thank you very much, Marlon. Thank you, Ari. Thank you, Juan. And really, I'm really glad to join yourself. And it's a great pleasure to me just try to introduce our federation, our national team there. And we are very proud because we had really the very hard way and we catch it the last minute there to jump into the railway there, but really we are now there inside and hope so that really our role should not be finished there in the group stage.
You know, Mr. Džemidžić, I'm so excited to have you. My last World Cup was actually in Brazil, where you last qualified. Unfortunately, my host city was not where you were located. I was in the northeast of Brazil, in Salvador, Bahia. And you were in the south, I believe. You're now back to the World Cup after a couple terms not being there. How does it feel? Tell us about the emotion about being back on the world stage.
Yes, three championships there and exactly 12 years there because we were there in Brazil 2014 and I was also there in Brazil but in a different role. But I will never forget it there because that is really one of the great experiences in my life.
That is so awesome. My good friend JC, take it away.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Secretary General. Thank you very much for being with us today. I wonder how or whether you can walk us through this roller coaster experience of the UEFA playoff path to qualify, and then this one game pressure stakes emotional roller coaster of winner all takes all play against Italy. How did the country, the federation live this all this qualifier experience?
Juan, that is something unbelievable because I try to compare two competitions there. Two competitions there as we compare now when we play there just before our qualification there in Brazil. But this was really something different. Why? Because the first time we passed through the group and now we missed only 22 minutes there in Austria in our last match because just we were leading there until 77 minutes there, 1-0. It was for our national team. And they drew. And we didn't have enough power there. I can't say the motivation, but the power. And the players were crying. I really could say I'm so long time in football there because also my father who passed away a long time ago, 37 years ago, in our house, it's always living only one thing is football there. Never done. And I can't imagine there, and I don't have enough words because the English is not my native tongue, but I would say that it's really the most terrible situation when I was walking to our dressing room. You can hear only the silence there, and only you can hear the cries there. It's strange because the coach staff and they allow to players there just to stop it there, just to relax themselves, and they promise each other, we will fight, we will have the big battle or battles to get this road to the United States, Mexico and Canada. And honestly, the first match, because we were guests there after the withdrawal ceremony there, and just we played in Cardiff. Hard match, tough match, because the English system there is totally different than we are playing in our part of Europe. And we survived, honestly, the first half of match. But it's happened again because they scored in 52 minutes, if I'm correct, 7 minutes in the second part, in the beginning only. And all of us, we were believing that we will succeed there. And Dzeko, our hero, the national hero, he scored 6 minutes before the end of the normal time, regular time, 84 minutes, I'm correct. And the players, when they start to shoot the penalty after the extra time, they are the youngest. They are the youngest in the team, between 18 till 22.
Wow. I
have really to convince that. And they were shooting like they have 10 years of their own experience. I can't imagine that. I can't explain because I really pass through the age there and see the football matches. Against the Italy there, we were really sure that we could win there, but never you can see 100%. We were organized everything, but we were just closing our mouth there, and the fireworks was ready, everything was ready. But after the penalty, and I'm sorry if I'm taking your time longer, I want to experience, to introduce our experience and explain everything there. And that is something like the volcano of emotion. The spectators, they were crying like the babies, like the. I could feel still that because I'm again watching that match there. I mean, 50 times I watched the match like the crazy guy there. It was something unbelievable. And after the midnight, 3 hours after midnight, and 150,000 people, they were outside. They were waiting for the players, and they arrived in our central court there, and they went up to the balcony, and it was explosion of the nation. And the people, they were so happy. Everybody in our country, Bosnia and Herzegovina, had been forgotten for any troubles there. And probably the price of gasoline will be next morning $10. Nobody will not think about that. Believe me.
No, we all saw the media, the TV images of the whole country celebrating. It was really awesome. It was impressive. Yes, thank you.
I think, as JC said, we've seen beautiful images from that match, the flares, the energy of the crowd, the incredible drone footage of this gathering of 150,000 people in Sarajevo and other cities across Bosnia and Herzegovina. I think it's for anyone to see how much passion and love, enthusiasm there is within the country. And it makes sense. I mean, that part of Europe has a long history of a football culture. But, Mr. Secretary General, now moving forward, you've watched the Italy match 50 times, and it's obviously, it will go down as one of the great wins of BIH football. But as you now come to the global stage, at the World Cup proper, a tournament that many had written Bosnia off from, in this city, for the opening match, people had almost already prepared signs welcoming Italy. How does that motivate your team? How does it drive you? What are the ambitions now going forward, looking beyond the past and into the future?
Ari, And that is something very clear, because after the draw and the group what probably had been settled to somebody, I can't say nothing. And the most important thing what's happened, it was the short video after our penalty area there in Cardiff. And the players of Italy, they were laughing. I don't know, did you see or did you watch somewhere?
Yeah.
They were
I saw
laughing. And our young players there, because they are very young. I say young, our average is 21, 22.
Wow.
Dzeko is the oldest one. And they said together, we will try to revenge them. Only for that laughing. Why? Because they try to humiliate it there. And they try really to, how to say it, reduce the dimension of our national team. And also we had a very hard period 2 years ago when we start with this new generation. And most of players, and they are the second generation of our people outside of Bosnia. They left Bosnia 35 years ago. But they are much better in really their own soul, how they believe it and how they love their own countries. And really they show to all of people in Europe, I say in Europe, there, because really nobody didn't think that we will succeed there. And as you said now, what they did in Toronto, I know that is really approximately in Toronto, I mean, used to live there 400,000 Italians there, and the people some from that Italian, and they bought the whole tickets, or most of that. And now we will also show how we can play there. I can't say that we are the best, but we will show our best, really, observation, and also the presentation on the pitch. And the only one place where you can see, because it was really in Zenica, it was really the big battle, something like David against Goliath. Why? Because when you see the Italians there, and they are the great players, but I mean players with famous names, but sometimes the names don't play the game. And it's really something, what is the spirit of the team. And also we have the very good coach, the national coach, and he didn't have any club, any team before, because he was one of the best players 20 years ago, and he used to live there in Germany. And really, we had a lot of troubles there, and we lost a lot of games, but we believed each other there, and also in this new generation. And now they show their best. I really can't say how, I mean, most of people, how they believe it to those players there. And sometimes it looks it's unusually and unbelievable, but really nobody didn't thinking about that we can lose the match.
You know, Mr. Secretary, you know, as the professional leagues wind down to their championships and their playoffs, you know, Bosnian players have populated many of these teams. You know, I'm from Jamaica. We have a similar population. What do you think the secret is to Bosnian football, to the pipeline? Why do you get so emotional? And why is everyone always crying?
Martin, that's something, I mean, very similar. You just mentioned about your own country there. We survive a lot of strange things, because also I was here during the period 35 years ago, and really it was really the worst part in our life, and I really don't like that everybody could pass it in their own life, what we pass it here. And that is something, how to say it, we are very proud. We like our country there. Okay, that is something like the figure there and that you like, but people feel this country, because everybody will say that their country is the best one. But that's true. Just I don't like to compare with nobody, but I really want to say that really that was something, and that is something very interesting. I don't say that there is any secret, and some spaces, pardon, there inside to say it, what is that, but there is very simple. We love this country, and that's it. And also you can see for your country too.
Yeah, JC.
Yeah, and shifting to another issue, we understand that the Bosnia Federation operates within a unique and complex governance structure reflecting the country's constitutional design. How does that structure affect, if any, the day-to-day operations of preparing to the World Cup?
Honestly, Juan, without any troubles there, because we are a special country. We are different of everybody there. We had our Dayton Constitution. We have everything different than the other countries. But really, we have our football federation. And the federation who's been just compiled from two associations there, because our country is not divided there, but it's just really produced there in Dayton in the United States in 1995. As the country who is really consisting of two entities there, Republic of Srpska and Federation of Bosnia and Herzegovina. And also we have that two football associations, and just really we have that is our RUF Federation Association there, Football Federation Bosnia and Herzegovina. And the people from both associations, they are coming and working together. From the both sides, I say both sides there because we are the only one country there. All the people, they were so, productive. And they were also very good engaged there in their mission, how we can succeed here. I really can't say that somebody just did it something better or not. Because all of people, I say, in our federation are working very hard to get this success. And that is one of the reasons, because beside the whole political problems we have, like everywhere now in the world. But believe me, we forgot that in the time when we were playing the matches there. That is the only one thing. And also we had the problem with our spectators there, especially with the ultra fans. And also, they don't like somebody or players or somebody there. But nobody didn't say any wrong words, any bad things, nothing, believe me. It's something unbelievable for, our area, Balkan is something different there. When you see that outside is sunshine, probably somebody will say that is raining. Never say that is the same. But this one, it was really, believe me, it was the consistent there about only one thing. All of people, they were supporting, I can't say 100%, but let's say 75% in our country, they were supporting with fully heart, our national men 18.
Thank you. Aarij?
Mr. Secretary General, you talked about the previous generation living outside of the home country and a lot of the kids coming back to play. In the United States, there's a large Bosnian population in the north of Florida, in the Midwest, around St. Louis. As a federation, are you working with, let's call them expatriate Bosnians that are living in the host countries, in terms of cultural programming, in terms of supporter coordination, just to kind of get that support out?
Yes, Ari, exactly, because a long time ago, let's say 30 years ago, when our federation had been really constituted there and when they've been just start and to work there, because it was very difficult. But, we had a lot of people who wanted to support and help the national teams there, and I say different, under 15 till the men 18 there, now it's women too there. And also we have a lot of people, they are really the scouts there on the fields, and they are working on behalf of the federation. But also that is something very interesting. We have now our scout team in this national coach staff now, because just we extended the number of the people, and just they are collecting the information, because I can say that is cheaper for us, but it's more useful for us that we get the information from different sources there. And if three of them, let's say from one state, say that there is one good player, he is from Bosnia and Herzegovina there, or their parents, we try to just check with them, with the parents, with the family there. Also, if they have another citizenship, we have to do it something more. Also, they have to exchange the sports citizenship. But most of them now, they try to be the part of this group. And now we have especially from abroad, approximately 22 or 23 players. In this squad, there is always around 35, 36 players there. That is just very interesting there, because most of them, they didn't born here in Bosnia and Herzegovina, and they delivered, I mean, they born somewhere outside. But, and also the focus has been totally changed now, and also the parents wants to allow themselves and also to change the, not the citizenship, but the sports citizenship there, and it's now up to them who wants to to accept or not, it's up to them.
You know, Mr. Secretary, my final question for you, and thank you for joining us here on the sideline. You know, your passion, the history of Bosnia is very rich. For this World Cup, though, on this global stage, after returning to the World Cup from 2014, what do you want the world to know or to remember about Bosnia when you win Group B come this summer?
Marlon, I want that everybody just will meet who are the Bosnian warriors there. And they are very proud, they are very young, and they have the biggest hearts than I've seen in my life. Believe me, because they are like the big birds, and nobody can stop them when they are together. And really, they will die for each of them there when they are in the pitch. I have never, because as I mentioned just when we beginning there, and I have never seen that spirit. I have never seen the connections there inside in the team. That is very important, and also the most important thing, they don't scare from nobody.
You know, Mr. Secretary, I believe that Bosnians have the passion from the east of Europe, and they have the passion from the west in the Middle East. It's going to be very interesting. It's a team to watch for the World Cup this summer. I'm telling you, Group B, very, very careful. Canada, Qatar, Switzerland, Bosnia, I'm telling you. Gentlemen, what do you think?
Marlon, you will get our jersey, don't worry.
Hey,
No.
I'm the one hosting Bosnia here. So Marlon, you need to send me the jersey. But I tell you, I agree with you. I think Bosnia, as much as people wanted to see other teams in that opening match, I am convinced that the opener is going to be a sizzler. I think Bosnia is going to be formidable. It's a tough, young, gritty, and attacking team. I don't think they're going to be easy to beat. I think they're going to set this World Cup on fire very, very early on. And I can't wait to see what that does to the tournament here.
Thank you.
I don't think any team will want to face Bosnia. I'm sure of that.
Who wants?
I don't like to face nobody there, but I've seen something very significant, because just when we were in the preparation for the match, the final match against Italy there, and I went to visit them there because the base is not too far away from our headquarters. I've seen what is the serious of the young population, and I have never seen it that, because they had the meeting just before just came down for the training. 4 o'clock, it was the time, schedule time. 5 minutes before, all of them, they were sitting. It is probably a sign to somebody, but for me, it was very important. And you can't hear nothing there inside, only the voice of the coach.
Mr. Secretary, where will you be based in North America? Where will the team be based?
Salt Lake City.
In Salt Lake City.
Salt Lake City.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
We didn't have the chance there to choose it that, because it's been just really deducted to us, and just is really okay, take or leave that whatever there. But my colleague is our team manager. He's now in his travel there because he was in Toronto 2 days ago there, and also visited the hotels there and the rest of things. I mean the all facilities around. And today he's in LA, probably in tomorrow, and he's in Salt Lake City, because we have also the big community. And just to say one thing more, there in St. Louis is the biggest Bosnia and Herzegovina community in the United States. About 70,000 people are from Bosnia. They are the citizens of St. Louis, and we played there against Panama. Okay, it was really something very tricky, because when the agents just offered that, because it was the best option there, they will sell the stadium, I mean, as soon as possible.
Listen, we look forward to having the Dragons back here on the world stage. Who wants to face the Dragon?
But
The fire is cooking.
we are not the green one. We are just. You see the colors there, and there is blue and yellow there, and Just we are not too dangerous.
So how do you pronounce the name of the team? Is it Majevi?
Zmajevi, it's the Dragons. Zmajevi.
Zmajevi.
Yes. Zmajevi.
There
yes.
we go.
That is something from just I say because from the very old period in Bosnia and Herzegovina, because it was really the old stories always, and let's say I could say now 1,000 years ago, but let's say less or more. And in one mountain, it's not too far away from here. It's only 30 kilometers. I went there 2 days ago with my wife, and there is really the place where was the dragon, secret hiding place there inside. And the people, they didn't like to walk there around because always they were expecting the dragon will come from somewhere there. And just there is probably some sign that our national team got the name from that source, but I'm not sure 100%. But it's very significant because it's very old story. And as you know it in whole history, and they didn't have it, the TV, technology was on the lowest level there. And that was only the stories, that's it.
I mean, who wants to slay a dragon, right? It's hard work. So let's see what happens. But
Secretary General Adnan Džemidžić, thank you for joining us here, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Group B, here in the World Cup 2026. Thanks for joining us here.
Okay. If anybody of you just be somewhere around, just let me call because Aarij has the number there, and he'll be our dear guest whenever we are playing the matches there.
And likewise, if there's anything we can do in Toronto while you and your team are here, always happy to help. We look forward to hosting you, and we look forward to a wonderful tournament.
Okay, Aarij, your size is XL if I'm correct.
Amanda, cut.
Thank you so much.
Okay, all the best, gentlemen.
Thank you.